Hey guys, it's your boy Easy. Welcome to Easy's Garage. So today let's talk about an often neglected but yet super important and super easy to do maintenance task, which is cleaning and greasing your motorcycle relays to protect them from dirt and corrosion. So relays on a motorcycle, as you can see here underneath the seat of my Himalayan 450 motorcycle, are really important electrical components that are responsible for providing power from the battery to crucial electrical circuits in your motorcycle. For example, your fuel pump, your ignition coil, your starter motor, as well as some non-crucial circuits like your horn, your headlights, as well as some auxiliary lights and some other accessories that you may have fitted. So it's important that these electrical components are working as expected and providing full power from your battery to all these different electrical circuits. And these electrical relays are usually used in high current applications, so where the amperage is quite high. As far as I can tell, the Himalayan 450 has 5 relays under the seat. So there's the starter motor relay, which is right here, and then there are 4 relays here, which are actually nicely labeled. One is the EFI relay, which is the relay responsible for powering your fuel injectors and that kind of thing. Next is the fuel pump relay, which is responsible for the fuel pump, providing fuel from the tank to the injectors. And then you got your fan relay, which I'm assuming is for the radiator fan. And then you got a miscellaneous relay, which is probably used to power all your auxiliary circuits, if you have any fog lights, and or probably even your horn and your headlights and that kind of stuff. I'll take these relays out in a bit and show you the connectors that are underneath here, the metal connectors. It's important that these connectors are not corroded and not dirty. There's no dirt getting in the way, because if there is corrosion or there is dirt on the metal pins, that'll cause an increased resistance in the circuit from the battery to your electrical components. Increased resistance again will cause a voltage drop, and so basically the entire power of the battery is not provided to your electrical component, and you could have intermittent current flow as well if your pins are corroded and dirty. So why could this be a problem? So imagine your fuel pump is not getting the correct voltage to function properly. So the fuel that's being supplied from your fuel tank may not be the right amounts, or may not be enough for your fuel injectors, and so this could be a problem, specifically for your fuel pump relay. This will manifest in a way when you close your throttle, your engine may cut off, and that's because when you close your throttle, your engine RPM and your alternator output reduces drastically. So your injector pulse width, which is basically how long your fuel injector stays open for fuel to be sprayed into your engine for combustion, that reduces, because obviously in low RPM you don't need that much fuel flowing in. But if your fuel pump relay is corroded, not proper voltage is being supplied to your fuel pump, as much fuel as should be going from the fuel pump to the injector is not flowing because of this not properly functioning fuel pump, because of this faulty circuit. And so that'll cause, if there's not enough fuel flowing, that'll cause the engine to cut off. This problem is masked when you rev your engine, because when you rev your engine, the RPM increases and your alternator output also increases. And so your injector pulse width, which is the amount of time your injector stays open for fuel to pass through, also increases. So even if this pins are slightly corroded and there's a slight voltage drop in this fuel pump circuit, there's enough fuel passing through from your fuel pump to your injectors to prevent the bike from dying. So, but you may not get as much performance out of your bike, but at least it won't die. So this is why when you close your throttle, the engine will cut off, but when you rev, it doesn't cut off. So that's a manifestation of a dirty fuel pump relay or a malfunctioning fuel pump relay. And similarly for your radiator fan and your other relays, you want them to be clean, because you want proper voltage. You don't want any voltage drop. You don't want any intermittent current in any of these circuits. So what I like to do is every couple of years at least, take these relays out, give them a proper clean, get any corrosion out if there is, and then re-grease them with dielectric grease to prevent any dirt and further corrosion. So let's get started with the with these 4 relays, I'll just show you how to remove one and clean and re-grease one, and then you can follow the same for all of the 4. And I'll show you how to remove the starter motor relay as well, and then clean and re-grease that. Okay, so first thing I did, I just disconnected the negative terminal of my battery. And now let's go ahead and remove these relay holders first. So the holder, let me zoom in. The relay holders are held together with this little clip here. So use a flathead screwdriver to just squeeze this pin in, and then you can pull out the holder. There you go. And to remove the relay itself, on the other side there is a little clip holding the relay in place, so you can use a flathead screwdriver to gently just lift up this pin or this clip, and then you can pull the relay out. There you go. So these are the relay pins, and this is the dielectric grease that's already on there that comes from the factory. The relay socket as well has a lot of dielectric grease. So what I'm going to do is clean this up with some contact cleaner and clean this out. First, dig out the dielectric grease from here with a clean flathead screwdriver, for example, or anything else you can use to dig out any of the existing grease. And then I'm going to spray some contact cleaner and clean these both as much as possible. Okay, so I've got a clean tiny flathead screwdriver, so I'm going to try to dig out the grease as much as possible and keep a rag handy. Again, be very careful not to damage anything. I'm also going to just wipe this, so any surface grease, get that out. And now I'm going to go to work on this with some contact cleaner. Same thing for my relay pins. I'm just going to wipe these first with a rag and then clean it with some contact cleaner. Okay, so as clean as I could have gotten both of them. And just inspect your pins to make sure there's no corrosion anywhere. If there is corrosion, then grab a little tiny metal brush, try to get that rust out, and try to get these pins as clean as possible. So mine aren't corroded, good thing. But now it's time to re-grease them. And only use dielectric grease, do not use any other grease, because dielectric grease is not conductive, it's safe for these electrical pins. Just pack a little grease into the socket, and you don't need to pack it fully, just a little bit. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my fingertip, like right here. I'm going to place it on the opening of each hole of the pin holes, and I'm just going to gently use my fingers to kind of push it into the hole. There you go. And do the same thing for all the other holes. Okay, so there's enough grease on the holes here, and for your socket, just a little grease on the tips. And when you push the socket in, all the grease will spread out on the metal pins. So you don't need too much grease, just a little bit. And push it all the way in until the pin here is locked in, the clip is locked in. If there's any grease that's sticking out, just go ahead and wipe it clean. And now I'm gonna do the same thing for all the other 3 sockets. So I've cleaned all my 4 relays here. There was no corrosion on any of them, so that's a good thing. And I put some fresh dielectric grease like I did as I showed you for the first one, for all of them. So all of these 4 are done. While I was at it, I also have some aftermarket fog lights, and there's a relay for that as well. So it's very similar to this. This relay is responsible for powering the fog lights. Again, it's a high amperage circuit. I went ahead and took out this relay and I cleaned it, and there was a little rust. It's a good thing I did that, because when they installed my fog lights, they didn't grease this up. There was a little bit of rust. I used a wire brush to kind of clean that rust off. There's very little, luckily. Again, use some contact cleaner. Then I put some fresh dielectric grease and on the socket as well as the relay pins, and so this is done as well. Now it's time for the starter motor relay. There's a kind of a clip here, and there's a clip underneath as well. So you're gonna have to squeeze these pins, and then you can pull the relay out. The relay out. There you go. There's already some grease in here, so I'm gonna clean this up, and the pins are in here. Yeah, you can see the pins right there. So I'm gonna clean that up and put some dielectric grease there as well, and then I'm gonna hook this starter motor relay back up. Again, I put some grease in it, and I just use my fingers to kind of push it into the holes, and now we're ready to put the starter motor relay back in. And just push it in all the way until there's a click. There you go. All your relays are greased up, cleaned, greased up. Don't forget to connect your negative that you disconnected earlier at the beginning. And that's it. So that took all of like 10-15 minutes to clean your relays and re-grease them with dielectric grease. Again, don't forget to do this every couple of years, maybe every year or two, just like you would bleed your brake fluid. It's super easy to do, so don't forget to do that. It'll keep your bike working tip-top, your engine won't die, and your electrical systems will work just fine. If your relays do get spoiled, go ahead and replace them with some new relays. Again, you can upgrade to some better quality relays from Bosch, for example. There are plenty of information available online to help you pick which relay to upgrade with. But these relays are working just fine for me, so I'm not going to replace them. I'm just going to clean and grease them again until they stop working. But yeah, hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like and subscribe button. Keep a lookout for the next two videos, which again are going to be on some often neglected maintenance tasks like cleaning your fuel injectors. So I'm going to clean my fuel injector, and I'm also going to be replacing my fuel pump strainer in my fuel tank. Alright guys, it's your boy Easy signing out. Take care guys.